This shit, oh, shit. You dropping this done deal.
Bro, let them know
It's a done deal.
Bro, it's a done deal. Let them know you dropping me,
I'll
bro.
drop you.
No, say it.
Who should actually drop from 1017?
Shout out to real nigga ain't never did no police shit or none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on.
Bro, we just did that. That's done.
What you do? You drop. You said you want to be dropped, you drop. You signed the paper.
I signed the paper, it's done.
So, if the video that you all just watched at the start of this was not enough to convince you, Pooh Shiesty, the Memphis rapper who is currently facing charges of kidnapping, of robbery, of violating his probation, is without a doubt the dumbest, most idiotic, mentally slow rapper to ever hit the mainstream. That's not something I say lightly. That's not something I say just as hyperbole, trying to just be cute with the phrasing. It's something I truly believe. I say that because there's just been too many instances since this man has been freed, since this man has been giving a second, and at this point, honestly, based off of his history, probably what is more like a fourth or a fifth or even a sixth chance. I am just left with no other explanation for just how Pooh Shiesty has ended up in this situation, in this predicament that he's in, with the amount of evidence that the federal government has been able to provide. I'm just left with no other choice but to just have to just sit here and say that Pooh Shiesty is the dumbest rapper ever. This is a nigga who has fought as hard as he could to remain in prison, to get locked up, to go down as a martyr for whatever cause his gang is fighting for or doing. This man is just determined to be institutionalized. And I made the episode I made a while ago. I stopped talking about it because it was just too much nonsense. It was too goofy. And I really couldn't believe that it was the type of situation that was happening, that was unfolding in reality. I have for a long time now sort of seen and sensed that rap, or I should just say rappers to a certain degree, were just devolving. You know, for as many Kendricks as you have, for as many J. Coles, for as many Drakes as you have who are able to make careers and have legacy and impact while not having to appeal to the most negative and lowest common denominator sensibilities of the hip-hop public, I have sort of peeped that as time has gone on, and I guess you can really just only say for street rappers, they've gotten dumber, they've gotten more reckless, they've gotten more hard to really get a read on or just really understand where their brains are at. I think somebody that really embodies this culture or this crash out culture of what it's devolved into is NBA Youngboy. Now, I want to be clear, I don't think NBA Youngboy is stupid like a lot of these other niggas. NBA Youngboy actually is someone who came out in 2016, as far as I can remember. Like, even before that, when he was really starting to get buzz. So this is somebody who has been in the game for such a long time. He's literally grown up along as his career is going on with his spot. And you can sort of see that in the way he moves compared to back when I was first, graduating high school. NBA Youngboy's career was really starting to take off. I feel like I would notice him or see him in some type of fight or altercation every year. There'd be at least 2 or 3 times where he'd do some shit like that, getting arrested. So he's definitely, I guess, mellowed out somewhat as he's grown older. But the influence and the impact that he had on this youth and this culture just cannot be understated, because as much as I want to just focus on Pooh Shiesty, and I'm going to get back to him in a second, I have seen it from motherfuckers in the NFL, like we talked about with Terry and Arnold. We see it with these NBA players and just the different various bullshit they are finding themselves into, gambling-wise or anything else. John Morant with his whole, toting guns and wanting to be this tough guy motherfucker. It's an entire generation of men, and I'm not just talking young black boys or men who are being influenced by this. It's just men in general who I feel like are falling victim to the influence, to the allure of this, I have to be the toughest guy in the room. I can't let anybody try me or play me. It is cool to not give a fuck about anything type of mentality that is not doing us any justice. It's not serving us well. It's not doing anything but creating more need for space for prisons. It's creating more room for graves. And that's why I have such a problem with Pooh Shiesty. Because Pooh Shiesty, even more than NBA Youngboy at this point, is the real representative of this whole culture, of this whole idea of just needing to get it out the mud or get it by any means. And the reason I say that is because not even a lot, everything that has happened to Pooh Shiesty since he's been free has been shit that he could have easily avoided. It's been shit that he didn't need to do. It has been shit that anybody with a fucking brain, that had anybody on their team with some lick of sense, would be able to know this is not a good or smart move. The fact that this man was off probation in a group chat on his phone, thinking it was a good idea to tell his friends, I need 630s and I need drivers, as if feds aren't monitoring him or watching him. The fact that his own father chose to partake in this bullshit with him, chose to get in the car with all these UINs with Shiesty and 30, and didn't have the maturity, the grown man brain to tell somebody in the car, y'all, this is a bad idea. I don't think y'all should do this. The fact that Pooh Shiesty was on live streaming with some streamer. I don't even know the guy's name. I think it was that streamer Ben Dedon. But the fact that this man was on stream with him, on the phone with his probation officer, trying to lie, saying, no, I'm at home. No, I'm not doing anything. No, I'm not trying to pull the wool over your head. Or no, I'm not trying to fuck with you right now. As if we don't have video fucking evidence of this, as if this wouldn't come back to bite him. I can go on. But the simple fact of the matter is, Pooh Shiesty is the most dangerous, most frightening type of nigga because he's absolutely unintelligent. He has no brain. The brain does not work. And yet this nigga really thinks he's smarter than people. This nigga really thinks he can go out here trying to outsmart motherfuckers. There was an old clip I saw a long time ago when I was in high school, back when Chief Keef was just blowing up. And I believe it was Complex, that they somehow got Lupe Fiasco and Chief Keef to sit down with each other. It was awkward. It was weird. And I remember after that, Lupe coming out and saying that Chief Keef scared him, not he himself. Excuse me, y'all, that was my watch. Not Chief Keef himself, but what Chief Keef stood for, the energy that he represented. And I remember Lupe getting clowned for it. Chief Keef came out and talked some shit about him. And as I look back on it now, I do think that Lupe was maybe a little bit overzealous. Maybe he was getting ahead of himself and fearing Chief Keef and what he represented. But that's how I feel about Pooh Shiesty. I'm at that point now where I can see what Lupe saw. I understand the energy that was worrying to him. And I feel like the energy that we have in Pooh Shiesty, the energy that I see around people that are fans of him, people that are supporting him still, even despite all the dumb shit that he's found himself in, that is what scares me, because it's people who don't see just how stupid, just how short-sighted wanting to be like Pooh Shiesty, wanting to move like him is. And I wish that I could say that this is just some internet shit, just some shit that I can just count off as just, the most lowest common denominator, just being the loudest in the room. This is shit that I experienced in real life. I said this story when I was doing the first episode about Pooh Shiesty and this whole situation, and I'll say it again. The buzz he had when he got out of prison from people that you wouldn't even think would be into Pooh Shiesty or his type of music was crazy. Niggas were excited to hear Pooh Shiesty again. Niggas were ready to get back on the bandwagon, to get back on the hype train. And I saw it. I saw what it was. I saw how this story would go with him. Yet I didn't really hate. I respected it. At this point now where he's at, I am ready to wash my hands of him. I'm ready to just say now, y'all should give up on him. And despite the fact that it's so clear that this man is cooked, that he's done, The most troubling thing for me when it comes to Pooh Shiesty is just the unwavering support, or just the fact that motherfuckers are still, even at this point, trying to find ways to not excuse, but just sort of, I guess, provide a silver lining, focus on other things. I'm gonna tell y'all this story right now. This is something that a conversation I had over this past weekend when talking about Pooh Shiesty, when talking about this video that came out. I'm not gonna talk about who it was I had this conversation with. Just know it was somebody that I respect a lot, whose opinion I value, whose just their thoughts mean something to me. I'm having this conversation about the Pooh Shiesty situation. I'm showing them the video of what happened with Gucci, and this fucked me up. But as I showed them the video of what happened to Pooh Shiesty, and I explained everything that happened, and just we talked about it because this is somebody who knew about the story. The thing that they said to me that fucked me up was, as I'm trying to focus on, I think I'm starting to go on a tangent about how stupid it was that Pooh Shiesty even did all of this. What they said to me was, yeah, that's crazy and everything, but ain't it really wild how Gucci had him in that contract? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. In that moment, time froze, because I really wanted to react a certain way. I really wanted to ask him, like, what do you mean by that? And I didn't, because there was a lot of different reasons. I just didn't want to have that conversation at that moment. But it really was in that moment that it clicked for me that there's a saying that I've referenced before, but I'm going to say it again. People love to focus on how the world should be instead of focusing on how the world actually is. And I say that because this person really wanted to actually spend more time or more energy focusing on the fact that Gucci Mane was being a bad businessman, was being a bad boss. And I know they weren't trying to excuse Pooh Shiesty for what he did, but they were trying to, provide some type of logic or insight to it, when that's, number one, the music industry is terrible. The people in it are shiesty. But number two, we've already known this. A Tribe Called Quest told niggas this in the 1990s. It's been obvious even before that. I just feel like we have this tendency to want to excuse the fuck shit that niggas will do. Not even when it's like, and I'm not just trying to say that like it wasn't justifiable anger, like he didn't have a real reason to be upset with his contract. But at a certain point, can we just be real? Can we just be real about the fact that if Pooh Shiesty had any lick of brains, if he had any type of sense, this was a situation he could have easily gotten out of without putting himself in prison? Can we not just accept the fact that we know that the world is this fucked up as Black people, as people of color, and that we know we have to move accordingly? Can we just be upfront and be transparent about the fact that this man did this dumbass shit while on an ankle monitor or on an ankle bracelet? I think the reason why Pooh Shiesty irks me so much, everything about him, the support he gets, is that there are so many different times where I feel like we don't really support Black people. We don't really support niggas who do deserve it. We don't really support niggas, and even hood niggas who are in situations that they really need our support, that they should have, where we should have their back. Yet I see so many people who were saying free Shiesty, who wanted to look at how he was failed by the system and everything like that. And he was. But I feel like when we focus on trying to pacify, on trying to give an out, on trying to give not an excuse, but just a silver lining to people like Pooh Shiesty's actions, to the way that he moves and does shit. Because again, I'm gonna be keeping it a buck with y'all. I am not somebody, I don't support niggas doing illegal shit or or criminality or any of that, but I get it. Whatever that means to you, however that sounds, just know I get it. I don't sympathize with them completely, but I understand their plight. So I am not somebody who is quick to condemn, who is quick to say we need to just this guy just deserves no second chance or no hope. But I am somebody who, when I see someone who has been given constant chances, who again, to really keep it a buck, just moves in such a stupid, reckless, and unthoughtful way. I do believe that is somebody that needs to be, necessarily not be allowed to be given freedom. Because there are certain motherfuckers who, at the end of the day, they have just proven, based off their actions, based off the way they do things, that they are unfit for society. That they are just a certain level of unintelligence that is just dangerous to have out on the streets. Pooh Shiesty and his gang, they have proven that. There are plenty of niggas outside right now. There are plenty of niggas out in the industry who are not at that level. And I am fine with them being free. I'm fine with them moving in the general public. This is a nigga, Pooh Shiesty, who, while wearing an ankle monitor, thought it would be a good idea to violate his house arrest, to go across state lines with felons, with guns, and commit an armed fucking robbery in a music studio that had cameras. You cannot pitch to me the idea of having empathy or sympathy for levels of stupidity that rise to this level. You cannot try to convince me that this is a man that deserves another chance to be free. You cannot tell me that this is a man who has just been done so wrong by the system, who has just been done so wrong by the powers that be, that he should be given some type of pass, some type of slap on the wrist. This nigga is the worst of the community. He is the most unintelligent. He is the most repugnant. And honestly, I've been trying to avoid using this word. He's fucking retarded. And I'm tired of niggas trying to give niggas like him the benefit of the doubt, trying to give niggas like that some type of out, some type of excuse. There are plenty of niggas that are smart, that are moving right out here, even if they are fucking criminals, who have some type of sense of logic to not be this dumb. And you know what? I have more respect for them. I'm willing to give them more credence. I just don't have sympathy for this type of nigga. And the worst part about it is the influence that a nigga like Pooh Shiesty has. That's why I really can't stand niggas like him, because I feel like we give guys like this too much of a pass when at the end of the day, all they are doing is influencing the youth. Not grown-ass niggas, not niggas who are 18 who are already stuck in their ways, who are already just gonna live that life regardless. I'm talking about the youth who don't know any better, who still have a chance. Hey, this is your boy Germ, just coming to y'all from the editing bay. I just wanted to make a little follow-up as I was going through editing this episode. I just feel like I was talking really negative and really just talking down on people. Especially, people that's in the hood, people that might come from the same sort of circumstances as Pooh Shiesty. And I just want to make it clear that is not what my intention is in doing this episode. What irks me about Pooh Shiesty is the level of influence I feel like he has on people, especially people of color who I feel like should know better than to should understand what it means to sort of glorify somebody like him or really be putting too much hype into him. And I say that as somebody who has grown up, who's seen people who probably should have known better, who probably were above or were raised better than what than the type of actions and behaviors that they did, trying to emulate niggas that move like Pooh Shiesty. And so that's why I feel an obligation almost to really, make it clear that he is not somebody to be big ups, to be celebrated, to be championed as if he is like a representation of the best of the community. He's not. But that doesn't mean that I'm trying to make anybody feel less than, making it like I'm trying to be on some like, black elite or, that bourgeoisie type shit that some niggas be on. I'm not above nobody. I'm not no high class nigga. And I don't want anybody to get that type of impression, because I know what it feels like to be called one of the good ones and all that type of shit. And I hate that type of energy. I hate that coming from other people. And I hate that when it's perpetuated in the community. So I just want to be very, very clear about that. If you like Pooh Shiesty, if you identify with Pooh Shiesty, I'm not talking down on you. I'm really just trying to maybe, talk sense into you. so that you don't make the same moves that Pooh Shiesty did. There's nothing wrong with identifying with him, seeing a little bit of yourself, if you can relate to him or how he brought up or how he came up. But we have to realize that we are trying to level up past a Pooh Shiesty. We're trying to be better than that and do better than that, because you see where staying on that level of a Pooh Shiesty has you ending up. So yeah, just wanted to say that right quick. I did not plan on showing my face this episode, but here I am. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this. I might sound a little negative even after I add this little insert in, but just understand that that is not where my heart was at. That was not where it laid. And y'all already know, it's your boy Germ. We out. So that's my rant on Pooh Shiesty. I just think he's dumb. I think he's incredibly stupid. I'm tired of his ilk. And like I said, I'm not trying to say that I got something against niggas that's getting how they live, that's doing what they got to do. I have something against niggas who are doing all of that while being stupid, while not being mentally fit to even move in that type of in that realm of activity. So I'd be interested to hear what anybody has to say about this. I would love to hear y'all thoughts. I know this might be harsh. I'm sorry I had to use the R word when describing Pooh Shiesty, but when you are the type of nigga to do the things he does, to record yourself committing federal crimes, I sort of run out of the. I'm just sort of getting done with niggas who are trying to move out here in a criminal way, while just thinking that they can still be on social media, while thinking they can still be recording shit, while thinking they still need to have phones. I'm tired of this. Because we know what the law is doing. We know that the law is against us. We know that the powers that be do not want us to succeed, yet niggas are still out here doing the dumbest shit possible after they've already gotten success that most other niggas would kill for. And I'm tired of having sympathy for a lot of it, because this shit is it's easy to not do. But that's my talk on this. That's all I got to say. I'm going to leave y'all with this message. It is, the streets are done. They are finished. They are finito. We are under constant surveillance. They can see everything that you want to do. There is no point of doing any type of crime when you have anybody with you, because to be completely honest with you, at this point, you have to go in there knowing that there's a 95% chance that nigga's going to snitch. Because, and I'm also going to leave y'all with this. Niggas talk all night and day about how they're going to act when they get in that room, about how they're going to do this and that, how they're not going to talk, how they're not going to speak. Niggas are going to fold. When you are facing life in prison, when you are facing the reality of being the nigga that you see in some of those prison videos, niggas aren't going for that. Niggas aren't trying to go like that. Niggas have families. Niggas enjoy women. Niggas just want to play GTA 6. Niggas are not trying to go to prison. Crime does not pay. Crime has no benefit. Get a trade. Go back to school. Or just understand and know what you're getting yourself into. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. Make smart decisions out here, y'all. Please don't be like Pooh Shiesty and some of these dumb niggas that are out here moving around, because there's so much more to life than prison. There's so much more to life than trying to be tough. And there's so much more to life than recording yourself doing dumb shit on the internet.